morning, YouTube. We getting out here to start our day, figuring things out, and dealing with the drama of reality that some of these tractor trailer technicians don't know what they're doing because my Zonar, my onboard computer, is not working again. So we're gonna try that part of it again. But hey, it is what it is. Good morning, good morning. Good morning, my YouTube friends and YouTube family, friends, family, and everybody that comes along with it. Um, what I want to talk about today, actually, let's start with a story time. A couple of years back, actually, the last 8 years, I've actually had medical benefits. But before then, I didn't have medical benefits. It was, give or take, trial and error, that kind of mess. And you know, I didn't really realize, a lot of s- stuff that I was doing. I was actually hurting myself and not realizing it. You know, because nobody emphasizes when you're young, or when you think you're young, or when you think you're invisible. Nobody emphasizes the fact that you're not, and that we're all on borrowed time. The fact is that um, hypertension, diabetes, um, high cholesterol runs runs the gamut. And I actually have asthma, and I got asthma from a actually kind of non-related, really bad acid reflux, and I started inhaling over the years of inhaling all that acid reflux, messed up my lungs. Now I have asthma. Well, a few years ago, I started noticing, um, when I get all emotional, which I am a very emotional person, my asthma acts up. Change of the year, like fall, spring, summer, my asthma acts up. My weight coincides with that also, so my asthma acts up. And I remember, I went to the doctor. Doctor gave me this medication, and I thought it was to fix my asthma, but I'm coughing like a nut. And anybody that has asthma, a steady cough, it, you know, that means your asthma is not right. Oh, wait a minute. No, it was my asthma medicine. I had, it was a blood pressure medicine to bring my blood pressure down. But the side effect, I found out later because the doctor didn't tell me. I had to freaking Google it. The doctor didn't tell me that it would give you a steady, hard cough. But this moron, we're talking a doctor, didn't take note that the side effect is steady, hard cough, and I have asthma. I wasn't hiding it. I got asthma, and you know, and I'm going crazy, and I'm getting nervous and wondering what the heck's going on. I had, go back a few times, and I finally Google it. I had to Google it, and I'm finding out that This blood pressure medicine, which is supposed to help my blood pressure, is making a part of me even worse. And you know, I'm you kind of look at when you see the when you look at these medications, especially nowadays. They didn't do that before, but they actually do it now. Now I actually read the medications that are given to us, possible side effects. Could cause seizures and all this other crazy crap. You know what I mean? In other words, making it worse could cause seizures, but you're supposed to have something to make you feel better. Could cause liver damage. Some comedians even say, could cause, loosen stool and, and all this other weird stuff. It makes you, kind of think, like, what the heck am I doing here? What is the underlying problem and why? What is the underlying problem and why are we not dealing with it? And the conspiracy theorists will tell you, you know, um, the they don't want you to get well. They just they want you to have to keep paying out. And I'm honestly, I'm starting to believe that. I'm really starting to believe that. But even the thing with that is, we say mind, body, and soul. I was listening to a live yesterday. I didn't let them know I was in there. I was just listening. And people were talking about uh, cutting off their family members for them being very abusive. And, you know, you could hear the hurt, you could feel the hurt, and you can understand the hurt because all of us have been through it. We've had the ones that got the special treatment when you had to do your best, and you know and the animosity and anger that you've held. um I don't get me wrong, I love my parents and I did love them, but honestly they were a piece of shit. I could not be around them, and I finally had to say I had to cut them off. I had to cut them off, and it hurt me, but I had to cut them off because their actions were causing a diverse reaction in me. Animosity, hatred, and those things. When you let that fester in your body, when you let that fester in your soul, it's kind of hard to come back from. You know, the black women, we hear the I'm the strong black woman. Yeah, you're strong black women because one, poor choices. You know, figuring out, well, I'm gonna be with this knucklehead who was a piece of shit. Then once you leave him or he left you for the next piece of shit, now you're stuck. You're angry. You're hurt, and you don't want to accept your part of the situation. I didn't want to accept that when I had to go back out dating. I didn't want to accept it in my marriage, my first marriage. I didn't want to accept that I had a problem that I should have got counseling for a long time ago. I should have got some private private counseling. I couldn't afford it. When you're struggling, you can't afford stuff. And I was more intensively hurting myself. I take responsibility for that. I take responsibility for I wanted to prove to my sorry ass parents that I could make my marriage work. But the plain fact is, my first choice in a wife was a bad choice. Shouldn't have never happened. Sad to say, sorry to say, but it's the truth. Till this day, that fool, it didn't hasn't even let it go. I didn't do, I didn't do what, you know, compared to what she's done to me. I shoot, my stuff is minuscule, you know, and it's understandable. But you know, I harbored a lot of hurt, a lot of hatred. I c- I really can't come on here and say or show you or teach you how to let it go. I can only say that you need to figure out a way to let it go. Because when you hold that for so long, it eats up every bit of your insides till you got nothing left. You cannot produce. You cannot produce love. You cannot produce compassion. You cannot produce anything, and it just comes off as a very bitter person. And the question is, are we truly hurting ourselves? My answer is yes, because a lot of times we don't know what it means not to hurt ourselves, not to blame ourselves. We it could be something that you were ordered to do. People don't realize when you're in the military, you're trained to be a killer. Yeah, you could be a yeoman or an office, whatever, but you're still trained to be a killer. You're trained to go to war. Your whole objective is to kill. They had us go over there to Iraq and Iran and all this other crazy, I not Iran, but Iraq and Afghanistan and fight for what so-called freedoms. Our freedoms weren't over there. Those countries have been attacked and taken over so many times. They're not defeatable. When you fight against someone who believes, in a religion that believes that God has sent them, you can't just wipe out a whole race. You can't do it. But see, man, we're not made unless you're a sociopath. We're not made for that destruction and holding on to it. We've got folks that uh, there's a brother on here. He part of his rehabilitation. He does a lot of working out. I guess judge not, but he doesn't want to be bothered, and I don't blame him. And if that's bringing him peace of mind, you know, um, we have elders in our family, and we all got them. They think they could say anything because you're a child and you don't deserve to be heard. You're still a child. You could be 40, 45, 50 years old. To them, you're still a child. I have an example. Uh, the day before I asked Norma to marry me, we invited her ghetto behind family out to a Korean barbecue. Let me rephrase that. Her ghetto behind sister, the rest of the family was okay. They were having a ball, especially the brother, because you get to cut up the meat and flip it. They had their own grill, and we just having a good old time. But we had one. She had one older sister. that had a mean mug on her face, that had nothing but you could feel it emanating off of her back. She had nothing but hatred in her heart, nothing but anger and discontent. And and this is supposed to be a well versed Christian sister, whatever, and the whole 9 yards. And you see, I could have matched that same energy and told her how what poor teaching she received and how she has really didn't accept God in her life to be so mean and hateful and spiteful and discontent. And I could have quoted Bible verse, especially back then. I could have quoted verse after verse and went head to toe to nail with her. But I remember she had said some really bigoted and racially motivated um, remarks because the young man that was taking our order, I think I said it one time before. The young man was taking our order. He was you could see by his face he was Korean because it was a Korean barbecue place. We were in, I call it Little Koreatown. It's the area is nothing but Korean stores. And the young man spoke perfect English. I mean, he and his sister said literally, and trust me, I'm not that type of person that gives off any bad vibes or anything like that. And I try to be happy, goofy. And she said, "Excuse me." Um, First of all, she was like, "Where's the gravy?" We what do you mean gravy? And she was mad there was no gravy. We were cooking beef on Korean barbecue beef, and they had all of these different types of, seasoned oil and stuff. It was an Asian restaurant. And she said to the man, "Excuse me, where are you from? Because I cannot understand you." And I looked her dead in the face and I said, "I know you just didn't say that." And the man said, I'm from here and I go to college at Georgia State or whatever. I said, "I know you just didn't say that. Who in the hell do you think you are talking to that young man that way? If that ain't the most racist thing I've ever heard, you can't understand him. He's speaking perfect English." And Norma tried to nudge me, and I said, "Oh no, oh no, 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 no. That man handles my food. You're not gonna sit here and try to put that man down in front of me. Ain't no way in hell." You know, with all that hatred. See, a lot of times our elders they get away with that crap because no one and everybody is scared to check them because everybody can be checked in my book. And I remember when I got up and walked over to the young man and I apologized profusely. I said, "Son, I said, sir, I'm sorry." I literally said, "I just met these folks tonight. I just met them tonight. Please forgive this intrusion." I said, "I promise you, you will get one hell of a tip." I literally gave him $50, and I never tipped that big. And I said, "Sir, I please forgive this intrusion." And I went back over there, and I said, "You don't ever talk to a waiter or a cook like that in my presence. You know that man could have took that steak and rubbed his nut sack with that. You idiot! How dare you?" And racist. How and I'm thinking you're supposed to be the Christian one. How effing dare you? And this woman, when I got up to apologize, she said, "I'm old enough to be his mother." And I heard that and I came back and said, but you ain't. And my mother's older than you, but you ain't. And you never will be acting like that. And I tell my mother, don't you dare say some mess like that in my presence. You know what I'm saying? And she started trying to antagonize me. She lucky. See, no, I ain't the one. She lucky I didn't knock her upside her head, but she was old. But she was whispering in my ear. She's like, "What? You gonna apologize to me?" And I looked over. I looked over. I said, "Norma must not." I said, "Norma must not have told you anything about me. She must not have told you a damn thing about me." I said, "You know what?" And I looked at dead in the face. I said, "Hell, HELL sticks will freeze over before I apologize to you for that crap you just did." And I said all that to say this: we let family members get away with bloody freaking murder because we don't want no drama, we don't want no problems, and they just keep on and they just keep on and they just keep on and they just keep. I mean, they don't want to let it go, and they want to bring more drama. When you let people, the thing is, I'm a not. I prefer. I prefer to be a beta male. I can be an alpha male, but I prefer to be a beta male. I don't need that. I don't need that in my life to 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 get things done. I don't need that in my life to be to make me happy. I don't need that that drama to give me substance or anything like that. But I learned that sometimes if you don't want the smoke, you still got to grab the match, get the kindling, and start the flame. Because when you don't, you're gonna let stuff build up until you explode. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna let stuff build up until you explode. Now, yeah, I'm all over the place, but it's all about the same subject. I just figured out, dang near almost 2 days ago, my blood pressure has been out of whack for so long. I've been, higher medications, blood pressure still going. I mean, it's so bad that I could feel I could see my eyeballs are aching. They're still aching a little bit this morning, but I'm below this is the first time in a long time I'm below, the levels to pass the DOT, but I need to be a whole lot lower. So that's what I'm working on. But I realize I take uh, it's like it's really Sudafed. I take it daily. I was taking it daily because I have really bad sinuses. And why you guys see me with a bandana on my head? It's to cover my head because if I just walk around with my head uncovered, about a day or two, I've got a really strong headache. I feel like I got the flu, and I mean, I just and the doctor told me a long time ago that I need to be taking sinus medicine is keep this one nasal cavity, I guess, from my sinuses to my nose or something like that, because it gets infected a lot. So to keep it, whatever that I need to take stuff like this. So I'd always remember that the doctor had said that. But about 2 days ago, I'm looking at my the veins in my eyes look like I haven't slept in days and whatever, and I checked my blood pressure. My blood pressure was up and through the roof. And then something told me, Google the Sudafed. See if that raises your blood pressure. And lo and behold, this stuff that I've been taking for effing years raises my blood pressure. And it also says that it kind of knocks out my blood pressure medicine. So it doesn't, so I'm taking the blood pressure medicine, but it's not doing nothing because that Sudafed is making it null and void. And I had gotten so used to it, and it helps me go to sleep and everything. And I literally had to go cold turkey last night. And I woke up this morning, my eyes were a little achy, just a little, but I checked my blood pressure, and it's actually lower. And the thing that what I'm kind of trying to talk to today is: are we unknowingly hurting our own selves by trying to kind of fix ourselves? I was unknowingly raising my blood pressure, and they say it's a silent killer. And I started realizing, hey, I got to make some noise for this silent killer. And I'm going to eat around 12 o'clock, and then let my body digest this mess. I'm going to start taking um, less and less antacid, even though it hurts, less and less antacid, and try to get my body back into fixing itself or doing something that's a little bit better for me. Um, Another thing, you know, I I have to understand that I have been in survival mode for so long that I get kind of obsessive compulsive about things. I gotta have this now. I gotta buy this now. I gotta get this now. It's because everything I got when I was before Norma, because boy, she gives me anything I want. Anything I got before Norma, you know, I let get taken away from me because I was a people pleaser. I wanted everybody to be happy, no matter how unhappy I was. I remember I was a subcontractor. I was a subcontractor for Dish Network. I wasn't making no money. I mean, there's a few days I'd make $50, and some days I didn't make nothing. And I remember when I come home and I would sit in the driveway and just cry. I would sit in the driveway and just cry myself silly. Then wipe my face off, come in the house, and go straight to the room and just watch TV. And I just realized how really how bad I was so unhappy. And the things that you try to replace, or you try to understand why you're so unhappy. And a lot of times it was my poor choices. I made a really lot of poor choices. And I can, I beat myself up over the years for making those poor choices. But what could I do? I I had no one I could learn from. I had no one that could mentor me, or no one that could point out, hey, bro, that's wrong, you know? And finding out something that makes me happy is wonderful, but I have to watch out. Like right now, small engine repair makes me happy. I don't have enough time to really enjoy it, but it makes me happy. I have to. I know I'm saying that, but Charles probably listening. He's saying, "Yeah, right." But I have to cut back. I have one, two, three, kind of four projects. You know, I got them all working, but I want them better. I want them, better in, uh, you know, I want it better. It's like I dropped that sod, but I noticed the sprinklers are not giving out enough water, and I changed the sprinklers, but they changed, and a lot of that grass got yellow. But I remember last year it got yellow too, but it came back. So I just gotta calm down and hope that if it doesn't, I'm not picking it up. I, hey, I'm building. Uh, I'm building. I'm building the soil up there. I will leave that mess there and seed right over it. But I'm going to keep on. I'm gonna keep on dumping Bermuda's seed every time I come through. And a lot of it is, the whole right side is greening up, and that's good. But you know, I got to learn to not beat myself up. And I laugh about making mistakes with my lawn. And shoot, I've destroyed the front lawn a couple of times. To be honest with you, but I'm learning, and we have to learn. We don't. What I'm saying, and I said all to say this: we have to learn not try not to beat yourself up, because we'll beat ourselves up so badly for mistakes instead of treating our mistakes as a learning experience. We just sit there and beat ourselves up. And you know that when you sit there and in your head and in your heart and in your soul, when you keep beating yourself up, you're you're not making yourself any better. You're actually making yourself even worse. And a lot of times when you're beating yourself up mentally, it will actually affect you physically. I don't know if anybody told you. It will actually, good morning, good morning. It will actually affect you physically. And to see, I want to keep going out and working on my garden. I want to keep going out and working on my plants. I want to keep going out and working on my my grass and walk and mow and all that stuff. But I noticed that I got to lose some more weight. I checked. I'm like, uh, I'm like 20 pounds. I want to be like 30 pounds less than I am right now. And then I got to buy me another good pair of, running sneakers to make me more comfortable, because a lot of times I'm not drinking, I'm not drinking beer or whatever just because I want to be a drunk. I'm drinking that beer because I'm physically hurting and I'm trying to numb myself up to keep going. And that's not good either. So the next plan of attack is less beer, less alcohol, more stretching, more hamstring stretching and all more. Get another pair of sneakers, maybe try some hiking boots or something like that. So when I'm walking around, if you look at the videos, I'm waddling all over the place, and that's because my art supports are killing me. And I need to learn how to sit my behind down, relax. I did one video. I just left I left the the core area to running, and I left it videotape it. I was like, screw it, I'm gonna leave it, and then I just sat behind it. It's I wish I was younger and had that energy or whatever. But see, the thing is, the positive, the the positive reactions that come out of us when you try to stay and be positive and live positive, it brings out a better result. I'm working more to be positive, stay positive. Um, my wife has a high stressful job. Um, she has to sell. She has to make things work. She has to get more sales. She has to recruit the people for the sales that she made. She has to deal with the one person that works with her. She has to do all of this, and she's forever talking down to herself. But I don't just stay quiet. I'm like, No, why are you doing that? Don't do that. Speak positivity into your life. I'm not going to allow you to do that. And I'll give her a reason. This is the person I know. I don't know who you think you are, but I know who you are. This is the person that I know. I know what you're capable of. So get out there, make that money, do what I know you can do. And I know she holds steadfast to that because I mean that. Because when you're surrounded by love, like real love. I'm not talking shaky booty, sex, and not. No, I'm talking real love. When you're surrounded by real love, real compassion, when you've got good friends that pick and choose when they want to hurt your feelings, because a true friend will pick and choose. They'll be like, nah, I don't need to hurt his feelings right now. He's talking bull crap, but I'll let his mouth off. But then when when your friend knows, okay, he's about to do some major destruction. Bro, I got to hurt your feelings. That's stupid. Don't do that. Do you see what I'm saying? You got to surround yourself. No, don't surround yourself with one person that's always keeping it 100. That's baloney. That person just wants to hurt your feelings. That person is a narcissist. That person wants to always be right when half the time they wrong. You know what I mean? You don't need to be around that person, but you need to be around the people that's going to preach positive, pump positive vibes into your life. You don't know. There's someone there's someone that even in your there's someone even in even in your comments, when you guys do your lives, when you guys do your videos, someone in your comments is looking for the right word. They're looking for the right suggestion. They're looking for the right uh, way to be pointed. Every one of us has our own niche. I do lawn care. I see Bamanola's in. He does. He be getting them lawns. I don't think. Yeah, I'll be wore out with one lawn. I'm talking trying. I would like to do a lawn care business. I'd be faint. But and then Mike and Urban Garden, y'all be planting and the rentals places and stuff. You bring positive vibes because the talks that you have, you keep it in the right perspective. Yeah, Urban Garden should be cracking me up sometimes. I gotta get back and look. I missed a few of your Saturdays, so I was busy. But I always love when you get when somebody gets your goat and that Jamaican come up. I come searching for it. That Jamaican accent come up, be cracking me up, and it's wonderful to hear because you right to the point. And the same thing. I just remembered it was like I have a gallon of this gallon of water. It's a cheap gallon of water in the plastic container, but you can taste the residue from the container. And I remember I think it was one of your lives was talking about it. And the the estrogen that comes off of that. And us guys will always wonder why we men have men boobs, man boobs. You know what I mean? And the thing is, we have to learn, even if you learn it from someone else, if you pick it up from someone else, you learn to not unintentionally hurt ourselves. I gotta be strong. I don't need nobody. Everybody needs somebody, even if it's your mama. So don't ever say you don't need nobody, even if it's your daddy. You know what I'm saying? Everybody needs somebody. Everybody needs somebody to talk to. I remember being out here when I first got out here. Um, I would go, geez, I'd go into these lounges. I don't do that no more. The truck driving lounges. They hear all this crap, you know. But I remember, and every once in a while I'll get one. You get one person that just wants somebody to talk to. He's been alone for so daggone long on the road. He just wants to strike up a conversation. And people don't realize, even in prison, a lot of these prisons, they stop solitary confinement. Why? Because when you're alone for so long, the only one that got it like the worst of the worst, it messes your head up. And the thing is, when you mess your head up to that point, you can become a cold, a very cold individual inside. And if that's what you want, I mean, hey, I can't stop you. Do you, boo boo? But I learned I don't like to be like that. I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. I don't want my feelings to be hurt. But sometimes you got to pick and choose them battles. You know, you got to speak, the positive things into people's lives. My wife never ends, a phone call without saying be careful. You know, I remember one time she would want me to hug her, to break her, you know stretch her back or whatever. And then one time I came home, she didn't ask it, and I was like, "What? Where's my hug?" And I started to realize, don't mess up your blessings. Don't mess up what God had put in your life. Because before this woman that wanted you to stretch her back out and hug you and squeeze her tight, the one before that didn't want you touching her. Period. Hello, somebody. The one before rolled the eyes. When a black woman looks at you with that "you ain't shit" look, you're a piece of shit, and they're always gonna be shit. But now I have one that eyes light up when I'm in the room. I said all I had to say that. Don't intentionally hurt yourself. See, because I could have just did the same mistake, which I don't think I did a mistake, but with wife number two, well, my wife now, the one that I'm very happy with. We hold on to past pain. We hold on to past anger, like like this one's gonna do the same thing as the last one. No, I don't believe you. With like you said, all men are dogs, all men cheat. Well, but honestly, guys, the statistics, more women kind of do what y'all don't think y'all saying y'all do. I mean, take it however you want it. You know, and when a woman do it, she do it better. You'll never know. And then you're all in your feelings. But I decided, you know, one thing I don't say is diet. When I say diet, it's automatically it's going to end bad. But I decided that I'm going to work harder and stop hurting myself because when every time I achieve every time I achieve a weight loss um, plateau, I just became super ninja and I could eat anything I want and I can drink any liquor. And I could do whatever I want, sit on my behind, don't exercise, don't walk, don't do nothing, and everything gonna be fine. Because that's what I think I could do, and it's just so wrong, and it's so quick that 1 or 2 meals, and that you done gained back that 20 or 30 pounds that it took you months to lose, and then your blood pressure's up. You got headaches again. You've got like 20 different pills you're taking. You know what I'm saying? You're taking 20 or 30 different pills, and the doctor's saying, "Hey, you need to cut back." I don't need to cut back. You don't know what you're talking about. And next thing you know, they're chopping off your foot cause for neuropathy or whatever the heck they call it. You see what I'm saying? We have to stop acting like we super dudes and understand. Yes, even the doctor said I could have a cheat day, but my problem is my cheat day goes into a cheat week. My cheat day becomes a cheat freaking week. And am I really helping the situation? No, because all of that work that I did to be healthy, to live healthy, I destroyed it in 1 week. I destroyed it in one swift blow. Now I got to start all over again. Well, like, and then I'll make excuses. Well, I ain't drinking, so I deserve this triple double Whopper burger with a big order of you know fries with gravy and a big slice of red velvet cake, and I deserve all that, and and a big and a half a gallon of ice cream. You see what I'm saying? I make excuses. Well, enough's enough, or at least I'm gonna say it today. So y'all keep me in your prayers so I can say it tomorrow and the day after and the day after and the day after. Miss V had said that they are switching around. It's gonna come up that we might have a chance to be monetized um, earlier. This something that came down because Miss V be finding that if you had 500 subscribers and 3,000 views within the last 6 months or something like that. Don't quote me on that. Go back to her channel and she'll explain it. When it pops up, I'm gonna try to see if I can get monetized because I'm I was at 2,000. I was literally right at the cusp of 2,000 watch out. Then the Great Purge started happening, and they just started snatching it. And I started getting upset. But then I had to remember, why am I doing this? Well, one, I wanted to see if I could do it. Two, I want to have some chronicles of, um, recording of me finally finding um, enjoyment in life. It's something I could look back and remember, hey, I did that. Hey, I did this. Going to places that I would never have been to without the help of friends. Hey, have we been there? Hey, we've done that. Um, and having someone, having friends that you could talk to and say anything and not be judged. Well, some friends, a lot of y'all be judging. Not y'all right now that's here, but some be. Welcome in, welcome in. Um, but there's a chance to be monetized, and I just think it's fair because look, I play some of my videos and they be commercials. I was watching on my TV. I was looking at myself. I'm like, I was cooking food or whatever, and there'd be commercials on my videos. Hey man, if it's a few pennies, throw me a few freaking pennies. That's only fair. And it'd give me a chance to do more. I have fun. I love watching stuff. That's I be in Bamanolas all the time. I love watching the I want to drive a lawnmower, but I ain't got no more room. I ain't got no more room. Ain't got no more money either. And my wife goes, "You got to drive a lawnmower. I want one. I want another one. Be honest, it's just an addiction. But I find happiness. The main thing about all of I'm saying today is find the joy, find the peace, find the happiness, and find the healthy alternatives to keeping yourself straight. Check the medication. If you any of y'all on medication, check the medication. Look at the side effects. Look at the side effects. One simple thing, drop my blood pressure. One simple thing, not taking Sudafed, drop my blood pressure drastically. I think it was like 20 points on the top end, drastically. One simple thing. One simple freaking thing. Drop my blood pressure. And it's crazy. I'm learning this. I have 2 cases of water. Normally I'd be guzzling that water and then it just empties me out. I got it. The doctors got me on water pills. I don't drink a lot no more, but I got some zero sugar Gatorade. So I'll be drinking one of them either once a day or once every other day to keep my body fluids in there. Taking more vitamins, checking checking myself and keeping an eye on things. Because guess what? I'm trying to get it. I've had enough. I need to get off of these medications. But you can't get off the medications if you're not living right, if you're not eating right, if you're not acting right. You know. And I'm not coming in here saying I know what I'm doing. I'm using myself as a reference. I'm using myself as a guide. See, just figure something out. like Urban Garden Chronicles. You was talking about trying to get your blood pressure down. Are you taking any sinus medicine? Check the side effects of that. I was taking sinus medicine. The side effects making my blood pressure spike and making my medication null and void. Um, Potassium. You can't have too much or too little. That will spike your blood pressure. The simple thing. You know, um, I'm going to start more vegetables in my diet. Mike, man, I'm gonna do a short. You guys see the pepper plants, man, they growing strong. I was out of the truck for 4 days. I just left them, and boy, they were just reaching for the sky. They're growing strong, and I'm like, I'm all for it. I'm all with it. I'm happy. I'm happy to see that that I got something that's actually growing. Oh my God, it's awesome. And my 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 little bonsai tree, man, she's doing really good. And that you know when and that's why I say to you, keep pushing forward with your channel because it's encouraging. You just don't realize how encouraging it is. Bam Nola, keep pushing forward. Keep knocking them out. Start looking for that right set of music and run it on your shorts. Run it to death. That's what I do. Get the same video. I'm gonna do it again today. Run it to death. Something gonna hit. You know. But it's like find out what gives you that strength and makes you breathe better, walk better, talk better. Because it's gonna take a while, guys. Before I started doing this, I was pushing 300 plus. I was pushing 300 plus. Ain't nowhere near that right now. But right now, I want to get to 220, and I think I'm gonna be good at that. Right at that area, I think I'll be good. But we got just be aware. A lot of us don't realize, get that yearly checkup. You know, figure out what's going on with your body. You know your body better than the doctor. You know what I mean? You know your body better than the doctor. Figure it out. You got this. You can do this. You can live a better life, a more healthier life. You know, I understand exercise, but it's more than exercise. It's healthy mind, healthy body, healthy spirit. You know, and a healthy gut. Figure out the right foods to eat. Figure out the right things to have in your life. Okay, guys. Well, we made it, and I tell you right now, thank God it's Friday. Um, I just want to say thanks for coming in. You guys have always been a blessing. The guys that come in on the remix, thank you for spending some time with me while I'm head up the road, and let you know you're greatly appreciated. And as always, just know if you don't think no one loves you, know that I love you and God loves you too. Y'all have a blessed day. See you Monday.